Did you know that France is no longer a democracy? What I just said sounds weird, right? Well, actually, a democracy is defined as a system of government by the whole population, typically through elected representatives. It's the control of an organization or group by the majority of its members. So when the left-wing NFP political party wins in a democratic election, well, it means that in a democracy, this party wins, right? Well, unfortunately for France, Macron, the French self-proclaimed monarch, thinks that after a democratic election, in a democratic country, the party that arrives first is not the winner of this election. No, of course the winner is the fourth party. Yes, you've heard that right. The first party is no winner. The fourth is. Not the second, not the third, the fourth. Because that's French democracy for you. The argument of the president for making such an illegitimate decision is that the NFP does not have a majority of the assembly, so electing the NFP would block the country and make it unstable. Which is weird, because the country has been in semi-constant strike for the past 7 years because of Macron governance, and the economy is worse each year, enough for the government to lie about deficit. But this is apparently more stable than improving the well-being of the population. Moreover, when we step back a few months, we realize that the French president was the one to dissolve the National Assembly in the first place, just after the terrible result of the European Parliament elections, where the far-right fascist party, RN, scored high, and where the president party scored low. Just as a quick recap, the European Parliament role is to ensure the democratic legitimacy of the European law. It is composed of representatives of the Union citizens elected by directed universal suffrage for a 5-year period. The last elections were on the 9th June 2024. The National Assemblies an elected legislature in various countries. The National Assembly is one of the two houses of the French Parliament under the Fifth Republic, the other house being the Senate. The French National Assembly was dissolved on the 9th June 2024. And yes, it's the same day of the result of the European Parliament, just after the fascists made a substantial gain at the European Parliament elections. And yes, we say fascist because the RN was literally founded by a former Nazi, and the logo is literally the same as the flame of Mussolini's soul going up the sky. Literally! So RN, fascist, plain as simple as that. Oh, and you want more? Well, did you know that the president dissolved the assembly after being asked by the RN to do so? And you want more? Well, did you know that the far-right TV presenter Pascal Pro knew about the dissolution before the former Prime Minister of France,
Gabriel Attal,
a Prime Minister from the same presidential wings as Macron? It's like the president wants the fascists in power, but that's crazy, right? Oh, and you want more? Well, did you know that the political parties only had 3 weeks to campaign and only a few hours to register for the election? Very democratic, right? A very fair politic, not unstable at all, right? No. The president says that an unstable politic would be to elect the first party to win the election, because you see, the president thinks that NFP are actually the losers, of course. But after our victory, did you know what Macron did? He first refused the quitting of the former prime minister, and when he finally accepted it, he waited an astonishing 51 days before actually naming the next prime minister. There are 356 days in a year. 51 days is nearly 1/7 of a year. So of course, the more logical answer for the president is to decide for the people. Because of course, he knows best. He is a monarch, president, after all. And it seems that deciding for the people means not choosing a prime minister from the democratically elected NFP, but rather an extra-liberal and far-right-leaning extreme politic, because after electing the first outed gay prime minister, Electing an homophobic one is not conflicting at all for the country. This is, as we said, with a disastrous economic result. The GDP of the 500 richest French doubled under his politics, while the hospital, for example, lost 10 billion of fundings and purchasing power of the French population plummeted. Just to make it clear, there is approximately 70 million French, and about 0.0007% of the population holds 40% of French GDP. So what is left for the other 99.9993 of the population? The reason Macron is pushing forward the fascist is plutôt Hitler que le Front Populaire. This is a French quote that was used during the 1930s by the rich French bourgeoisie. It means rather Hitler than the Popular Front. The Popular Front was an alliance of left-wing movement in France that won the legislative election during the interwar period in 1936. This government implemented various social reforms with the help of the population, who launched a general strike in May to June 1936, resulting in the negotiation of the Matignon Agreements, one of the cornerstones of social rights in France. All employees were assured paid vacation. They gained the legal right to hold strikes. The right of union were strengthened. Workers gained a higher wage. The 40 hours week was implemented, etc. Even today this appears to be true. The rich side with fascism, hoping to keep their privileges, and this causes misery for the population. This is true in France and unfortunately worldwide. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't hesitate to like and subscribe and leave a comment. See you, bye!